And then I'm going to share my screen.
Which means I think I have to make you the host. So
yeah, that's what Lindsay said.
I will do that. So I'll make you the host. There you go. So now you have all the power.
It's dangerous.
All right. So I'll give a little intro here. So Lisa is our guest coach of the month. I know everybody has already seen lots about her. But Lisa is our money mentor, our budget guru, the one that can teach us all things about cash, which obviously we're interested about because, like I said, I see faces here I don't usually see on Tuesday nights. I know that she's already gave you guys lots of awesome stuff. She did load the PDFs into the group, so when she's referencing the PDFs on our workshop tonight, if you haven't seen the PDFs yet, they're in the group. Lindsay put them in there earlier, so I will hand over the reins to Lisa, and she can give you guys her official intro of how she got into business and what she's going to tell you guys about tonight. So.
Oh, goodness. That's going to be scary. Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa. Y'all been seeing my posts and all that. I am the owner and founder of Lisa Marie Accounting, LLC. I started off as, I guess, quote unquote, an accountant, but I turned it into a profitability coach, budgeting guru, you name it, I've been called many of those things. But what how I got into it was because I was tired of not being able to stand on my own 2 feet, not being able to make ends meet. And the accounting world always had something for me because it was numbers, but I was like, okay, how can I make this work? And so from there it evolved, and it just grew to where for my business clients, what I do is I help them not only with their accounting piece, but I help them budget their business expenses to where they're able to budget to pay themselves, pay for taxes, the things that they need in consideration. And then for the personal, I work with them on their personal budgeting, help them set it up. And so what I've done is I've done did 2 PDFs for y'all. One's like a little personal budget spreadsheet, very simple, and then a checklist, just to kind of give you ideas, because what I found is a lot of things, even when I'm setting mine up, there's things we don't think about that we should include on the budget. So I kind of made a list just to kind of help, jog, and that we'll be able to go from there. But I got into it just because I wanted to help as many women as possible be empowered and stand on their own 2 feet, and not have to be controlled by money, because so many of us are, and we don't feel empowered, and I think it's important that we do. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me a minute. Okay. Share. And y'all are going to bear with me because I don't know how to talk and scroll at the same time.
It's definitely something that takes some getting used to.
And I don't do it very well, so please bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few steps on how, honestly, budgeting can be made beautiful, sassy, or sexy, and easy. And what I say in the business world is I take business numbers from chaos to sassy and sexy. And when it's easy, it can be sassy and it can be sexy and it can be beautiful. You just have to break it down to steps. So I've got you a few tips. But before we do that, kind of how like Christina and Lindsay will tell us to take a deep breath and do our stretches before we exercise. And yes, I get beaten up a lot by Lindsay. I haven't done Christina's class yet. But I want everyone to take a deep breath because I know how stressful money can be, but I also know how stressful and anxious it can make people to even talk about it, much less take advice from someone else. And so I know it can bring up those negative feelings and all. And so before I want to start, I want you to take a deep breath because I want you to know this is a safe place. One, with me, there is no judging. Okay? Been there, done that, can write several HBO dramas off of it. And I'll be honest. Long story short, in the marriage that may or may not be making it, in 19 years, 1 foreclosure, 1 Chapter 7 bankruptcy, 2 short sales, and no, 3 short sales, 2 short sales, and 5 layoffs.
Wow.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. So when I tell you I understand, I mean it. Okay, I've rebuilt my credit probably more times than I can count, and I'm rebuilding it again. But the tips I'm going to give you work because I do them. I do them every day. Is it always easy? No, but I do them. And I do it because I want to be empowered and I want to stand on my own 2 feet. And I want y'all to be able to do the same thing. Okay. So have we taken our deep breaths yet? Because I can talk all night. That's fair warning. I won't, but I could. Okay. So we're going to create, I'm going to show you in different steps, okay, where it can be easy and manageable. And again, if you have questions, please, please, please ask me. And if you don't feel comfortable asking me here, I'm giving you permission to PM me and ask me. Okay, all you need to do is find me on Facebook. It'll be under Lisa Marie Robinson, and PM me. I promise I will answer. Okay. All right. I got to move y'all so I can see. Sorry. There. Okay. I had to move you so I could see. Actually, I can move you over here. Here we go. That'll work. Okay. So step one. With the spreadsheet that I gave y'all, and Lindsay uploaded it, I made it as simple as possible. But the first thing that you want to do when you go to create a budget is you want to create a list of your fixed monthly bills. Okay. And when I mean fixed, I mean those ones that reoccur every month. So like your mortgage, your rent, your car insurance, those things. They're the ones that are the exact same each month. So like my rent, you know, if it's $11.75, that I want to list all those things. And you want to list those out. And what I do is on the spreadsheet, I'm telling you to put the name, the amount, the date it's due or the date it's drafted. That's really important because when you're looking at when your income's coming in, you need to know when a bill is going to go out, right? So that you can budget. So I'll even show you so you have proof that I'm not lying. Here's mine all written over. That's my business one. That's my personal one. I carry these with me at all times. They are in, and I'm not exaggerating. These are in and I write on them and I print a new one each month. So if there's any changes, I put what month it is and I write whatever's changed. But I keep these with me at all times and they stay in this little folder. And it's called my monthly business personal expenses. And since I own my own business, I also have it on there saying income because that's how I get paid. So I have to Christina, for you, that's what help you because you need to be able to track when your business income is coming in so that when you're going to pay yourself so that you can actually pay your personal expenses. And that's how I do it so that I know I'm making sure I'm paying myself enough. So after you do that, you've got those amounts. So you're going to list them. You're going to do the dates. You're going to do, the bill, the amount, and the date. And then the next step you want to do is you want to create a list of all the recurring monthly bills that change amounts month to month. So like your electricity bill, your water bill. I'm going to tell you an easy way to budget for these because this is where a lot of people have problems at first, right? I don't know about y'all, but I did. Trying to budget for a light bill that during the summer months, for example, my light bill can range from anywhere from $350 to $425 a month. Yeah, I know. I've already had conversations with him about it.
Right?
No, I'm not exaggerating.
Is that air conditioning? Is that what?
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say.
It's because I'm in the South and I rent a very old house and there's hardly no insulation and the AC, because it gets hot and humid down here, it runs all the time.
Oh
my AC does not shut off. So my light bill can run anywhere from $375 to $425. So during the summer months, I don't budget $375. Where do I budget? I budget the higher amount. Now during the winter, it'll go from like $250 to $300, which I still think is high. But again, that's because we have an old house. We rent an old house. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a list of all those recurring bills. So like you're going to make a list. You're going to do water bill, your electric bill. If you have gas bills separate. I don't know. Some people pay a sewer bill. I pay a sewer bill, so I don't know if you do. But those ones that can change month to month. You pay them every month, so they're a recurring monthly bill, but the amounts could slightly change. And I'm going to show you how to average those so that they can be put on there, so that you're not under budgeting. So you're going to do that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to list all of your one-off and variable expenses. And what we call one-off expenses is stuff that you don't necessarily spend a certain amount each month, but it's something that's incurred. So like your groceries, your gas for your car, household maintenance, car maintenance for your vehicle, those types of things, right? And you can check the budget checklist for different ideas. So like your car taxes, just if you take a bus or a taxi, you want to make sure those kind of things are considered in too as well. And again, I try to honestly think as much as many things as possible. So some people get their hair, like I go every so often to get my hair done, or get your nails done. So for example, this Thursday I have a big hair appointment. I'm getting my color done again because there's too much brown and there's gray starting to come in. Well, I have to budget that. So that's been budgeted for the last, because I know how much it's going to cost me, but it's not every month. It's actually like every 12 weeks. So I've budgeted for it. So those different types of things. And again, the budget checklist is just to kind of help you make sure you're not forgetting anything. So like for me, and I've been told that some people do it slightly different, but I'm going to explain why I do it separately. I don't include household supplies and personal supplies in with my groceries.
Do you
Does that make sense?
Do you buy them at different stores than the grocery store?
Well, I do, because the grocery store is outrageous, but that's just my opinion.
I've been doing that before, where I put my personal items on like a different area of my budget. But I just always find, well, I'm at the grocery store and I bought stuff at the grocery store, so do I take it off of my?
So what I do is I do two things. Well, I go to two stores. I go to Walmart for all my personal supplies and my household supplies. So I basically make a list and I know what I've budgeted. But I'm better now to where I go in, I get what I need, and I leave. I don't go looking around. I don't let things grab at me and get them. And I've got a tip for those that don't, like I talked to Kim today, a friend of ours, and she was like, yes, but all that stuff. And I gave her a huge tip. Okay, there's a way to avoid that. And a lot of people are taking advantage of it. And I found out it's just available in Canada now. And it's to order online and pick it up.
Yes, I do. It does save me so much money when I click and collect.
I have two friends who are doing that, and they said they've been able to stay on budget because they don't go inside the store and they don't see all the stuff. But I keep it separate because my groceries, I need to make sure that money is being allotted for groceries, for food. Okay. And then I do household supplies. So household supplies is cleaning supplies. What else?
But what?
Dog food, cat food, toilet paper, paper towels. Those I consider household supplies. Personal supplies is like your shampoo, your conditioner, your deodorant, your razors, your shaving cream, tampons. All of that stuff is personal. And so I call it a personal list, a household list, and a grocery list. And I write them on two separate lists. And then I make sure the money I've allotted for it, that's where it goes. And it does two things. One, it helps you see actually how much you're spending in that area. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Because you may be actually over budgeting on the groceries. Plus, our brain, when you say, okay, I'm budgeting for $500 for groceries, our brain thinks, and I'm just using that number, $500 for food. When in actuality, you're not. If you're combining it, it's $500 for everything. So what I do is I just separate it out. For me, it's just easier. If you can do it combined, great. I suggest trying it separated and see if it works. Okay. So step 4. This is the hard one for a lot of people, because when we budget, we even businesses and personal, we forget about our yearly expenses. So I want you to list all your yearly expenses. So you're gonna list them out. You're gonna list the month they're due, and then the month and the day. Excuse me. And then you're gonna average these out by dividing the amount by 12. So what's gonna happen? Say for example, I don't know. Some people pay their car insurance by yearly, but we'll use. I'm trying to think. Amazon Prime is yearly. Most people do that. That's an easier one. So we'll just say, I think it's like $100 a year, right? Is that right? Like $120 a year, I think. So if it's a personal thing, you just take that 100, you divide it by 12. And my whole point, the reason why I do that, and no, I cannot do that in my head, so don't laugh at me. Okay, so it's $8 and I'm good with numbers, not math. It's $8.33. So what I would do is I would say, okay, $9 a month, because I round up. So it's easier to put $9 a month up, and I'm going to give you a tip on how to do that, than it is to come up with $100 at the end of the year, right? So say, for example, if you pay car insurance every year, or even homeowners insurance, it's a whole lot easier to come up with, say, if your car insurance, I'm going to use astronomical amount again. Say your car insurance is, I don't know, $1,200, okay, a year. It's easier to put $100 a month up than it is to come up with all of a sudden $1,200 bucks. And if you live in the U.S. and if you're in a state that has property taxes on the vehicles, raise your hand. I know I do. Now, y'all don't have property? Okay, I was going to say, come on now. Somebody's got to have property taxes on vehicles besides me. That's an easy way to save for it. So like my vehicle that I just like was able to, it's new to me, but it's used. It's a 2012 Expedition. And I've never owned anything like it, and I absolutely love it. Well, the property taxes on that sucker is going to be over $800. I can just guarantee it. A year. What I'm doing is I'm estimating what it is because I haven't got the first one, right? I've divided by 12 because I transferred my tag, so I don't have to pay for it yet. And that's how I'm saving for it. So when that bill comes, I don't have to mess up my budget and try to come up between $800 and $900. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's where it gets us when we forget about those yearly expenses. That's what ends up messing us up because we don't have a way to save for it. But I'm going to show you. Here's the tip. Open a savings account for your yearly expenses. And I'll tell you where you can go get one, and it's free. You can do it online from your computer. It's Capital One 360. You can open as many savings accounts as you want. You can be as bad as me. I have several, but it's how I do my budgeting. But you can open up one. It's totally free, okay? And you can then have it set to where you can go into that account. You go into that Capital One 360 account, and you say you want to transfer money, and then you just pick it and you transfer it. And it takes about 2 days for it to come out of your account to go into that savings account. So if you would rather use a savings account with your bank, that's fine too. The only reason I say use a separate one is so you don't go touch that money. Mm-hmm. To me, it's easier to have it as, because if I go and touch the money, it still takes 2 days for it to get back to my bank. Christina, for you, Tangerine is the exact same thing, which is what Lindsay has. It's the exact same thing. It's just the Canada version. Okay. And it'll do the same thing. Again, the biggest thing is you have to remember when you're ready to go pay those expenses, you need to allow 2 business days for the money to go in there. But I like it because it's not easily accessible. I can't go and pull it, and I can't just easily transfer it and immediately be available for me. Mm-hmm. But again, open up a savings account. And so say, for example, you have, I don't know, 3 yearly bills, and you average them out, and your total for those 3 is, say, $100 a month. Okay, so you want to fit that $100 a month into your budget, and how you're doing it's still going to be part of your budget, and you're just going to move that money to the savings account so that then you can take care of those bills when they come due in 12 months. Does that make sense?
So much sense.
Okay. If I've lost you, you need to say something. Okay.
You have a question, Karen?
Yeah, I was going to say you're basically pulling from that savings account when.
Yes. And it doesn't screw up what? Your budget. Yay. Yes. And I'm going to tell you what, it works wonders. Let me just tell you. Now, please understand, if you say, for example, you start it, I don't know, now, okay? So say, for example, you start this and you do it now, and you have something that's due yearly in 2 months. Please understand it's not going to be enough money in there in 2 months for you to pay the bill, okay? I've had people get upset. But what I tell them is you're basically preparing for next year. Does that make sense? So, yep. Yeah, you're going to have to get through those rough couple of months because you didn't have it allotted. but think about how much easier it's going to be next year. Y'all, I have people who own their business who didn't do it for taxes or yearly expenses, who actually adore me because I gave them that idea. And now they don't have their budget being all messed up when they have yearly expenses being done. And
Well, so many services give you a discount if you pay annually.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually
and the problem is, though, you then forget about it.
I know. And that's what happens, is that you sign up for, oh yeah, I'll pay annually. I'm not paying crap right now. And then all of a sudden November rolls around and you're like, oh man, that was a bad idea.
Well, I mean, because I got 2 of them coming up. I have Amazon Prime and I have Dropbox. Both of them are paid yearly. I got the alert. All I did is I went to my yearly savings account. I pulled them out of my business. I pulled the money for Dropbox. It's now sitting in my other account so that Dropbox can pay it. It did nothing to my operating budget. My Prime, same thing, does nothing to it. It takes so much. At first, it seems hard because you're including an extra amount in your monthly budget, okay? And I get that. But what I want you to understand is how much headache and chaos and stress it's going to cause you when you have those, for example, those property taxes, right? When you have this property that you know you have to pay, because what happens if we don't pay them? We don't get our new sticker and then they suspend our license. So we know we have to pay it. So why not budget for it and have it put up each month so that it's less stress at the end of at the time that it's due? I just find it works, and it makes life a lot easier.
Does Capital One charge for having the account?
Nope. When you open it up, you have 60 days to do a transfer, okay? Or they'll close the account. It's Capital One 360, and it has a mobile app. Y'all, I love my mobile apps. It has a mobile app, and now here's the thing, okay? What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to go in and link it to your bank account, okay? And then when you're ready to do a transfer, you actually go into Capital One and say you want to transfer money from that outside account to Capital One, and you put the amount, and you can do it from the app, and then it'll pull that money from your bank account. It takes about 2 days for it to show up.
I was gonna say, I have them for my credit card and they're wonderful, but I didn't know.
I have them for my credit card, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I have 6 savings accounts. I do. I'm wanting to buy a house, so I have one for a house now. I have one for my girls, so that it's called the girls, so that when they need shoes or pants or, I don't know, underwear, or they have a growth spurt because 1/7, 1/15, I'm able to go there. And again, at first I was only putting $10 every paycheck into there. Now that I've owned my own business, it's grown a little bit. I was putting 25, now I've increased it. So you don't have to put a huge amount. You're like, well, why would I open that? I don't have anything. Put $5 in there, then gradually increase it as you can. The whole purpose is if you have it and you're allotting for it and you're putting that money in there, then it's there. Yeah, my daughter needed new riding boots and I hadn't touched the money, and that was how I paid for those riding boots last year. And my business was fairly new, and if you read my blog, there was for a while there I wasn't sure I was going to actually keep doing it. So I had no idea if I'd have been. I'll be honest, I would not have bought those boots if I wouldn't have done it that way. Now I didn't start off with as many. I just opened up more. But I did that because now since I have that vehicle, I have one that's for vehicle, and that's for tires, because again, it's an expedition. So the tires are going to be anywhere between $800 and $900 whenever I go to get tires. So I'm putting money up so that doesn't mess up my personal budget, because one thing that can mess up your personal budget is what? Something going wrong with the vehicle, right? It's happened to me several times. So yes, there's no minimum balance. As long you have to make a deposit into it within 60 days so that it'll quote unquote be activated. And then once you do that, there is no minimum balance. It earns interest, and if you turn around and something happens and you have to use it, you move it, they're not going to close or anything for it to have a zero balance. And you can also nickname them, which is what I like. And since you have a Capital One card, You'll use, it'll show up if you have the Capital One
All within
app on your phone. It'll all show up listed.
Yeah.
Yep, it'll all show up in one line, and it's awesome. And like I said, it's totally free. You can honestly go in and you go into Capital One 360 and say you want to open a personal savings account. You just put in your information and you're done.
Thanks.
So it's really simple. I love it. Okay, so for averaging, there are 2 ways to average for your budget. Okay. Because for those expenses that I was telling you need to average. So the first way is to look at your expenses over the last 6 months and add them all up and divide by 6. This will give you the average number to place in your budget. The things that I want you to do this with, or I suggest you do this with, is looking at your groceries, your household supplies, your personal supplies, your gas, your snacks or trips to the gas, your snacks, your trips, your dining out. Those you want to add up. You want to look at least I say the last 6 months, but at least the last 3 months, because you need to get a true average, right? So, because last month you may have not done as much, but the month before you may have done more. So you want to at least get a good average. So I say the 3 to 6 months. So you're basically going to go and look at your bank statements, look at what you spent in those areas, add it up, divide by 6, and that's your average. And then what I tell everybody is rounded up to the nearest dollar.
What if
So
we
if
don't want to look at our bank statements?
You need to look at your bank statements. That's the only way you're going to get a true picture, Christina. Remember that head being buried in the sand?
I'm trying to pull it out. Trying.
Okay. Pull it out and look at your bank statement. I promise. You can ask Lindsay about it when I had her do it.
I know, she tells me about it.
Yeah, she didn't like me too much then either. But that was when I was working out with her, so I told her payback was hell. When I first literally started working out with her. So, but the problem was is then she started making my workouts even more worse, and that's why she said payback was. So that's what we did for like the first year. But see, now I work out with her even more. So okay, but that it gives you, doing it does 2 things, and that's one of the reasons why we did the budget challenge too, right? Is because and some of y'all listed out how much you were saving. I was like, I've been so impressed with how much everybody's been doing. But the reason why we want you to look at those bank statements, the reason why I want you to look at the bank statements is because you can't hide from it. Okay, it's in black and white. But you want a true picture. If you're really going to take the time to make a budget so that you can be empowered and so that you can get better financial health, you need to look at your bank statements and get a true average. Now, it's going to do 2 things. 1, you're going to realize how much you're actually spending in those areas. 2, you're going to realize if you need to cut it back, right? And 3, you're going to be able to put it in on your budget so that whatever it is you're budgeting, you can actually allot for. Okay? The second way is when you have bills that happen every month, but the amount changes. You want to look at the last 3 to 6 months and use the highest amount in your budget. So like the light bill. If I know from a certain period to certain period, it ranges from here to here, I'm going to pull that highest amount, and that's what I'm going to put in my budget. Yes, I know that there may be some months it's going to be $75 less, but guess what? That's $75 extra I now have that I can put somewhere else. But you want to at least have enough for that high end so that if it ends up being that high end, you've got enough money for it, right? And you'll be able to tell if it starts dropping, you'll be able to say, okay, you know what, it's dropping, the average is dropping, and you can drop it down on your budget. You will always tweak your budget. There has not been, when I first set up my budget, I want to swear I was tweaking it pretty much every month because the numbers weren't quite right. Now I don't have to tweak it as often. But my personal supplies, sometimes if personal supplies start going up, then I'll change the amount that I'm allotting for it, right? So you're gonna, that's one of the things is you have to make sure. That's the reason why I tell people to not only write this out, but write a new one each month and keep it with you so that you can look at it and make sure that what you've allotted is where you're staying. And that if something's changed, because if a new bill's been added or something's changed, something's gone up or something's gone down, you can make a note and you can change it so that you have it right in your budget. Does that make sense? I got tongue-tied there for a minute. I think my little one was knocking on the door. Okay, so my tip is if you find yourself in stores and you often impulse purchase, and I have several that have done, I've made this suggestion. I suggest doing the online shopping. There's like Publix, Walmart, Kroger, and I've been told now Walmart is doing it in Canada. You can go online. Because most of us buy certain personals, right? You buy a certain brand deodorant, you buy a certain brand dog food. I mean, at least I do. Most people, we have the brand that we like, right? So you're pretty much going to know. So all you have to do is go in and order it online. Literally, I think it's called, is it called Pickup at Walmart? I know Kroger, it's like click and pick up, and our Target even has one now. And matter of fact, our Office Depot, our Office Max, the office supply store now has one where you can order online and pick it up in an hour. You don't even have to go into the store. But that's what it says, is basically order it online and then go and pick it up at the store. You never have to leave your vehicle, and you're able to stay on a budget. I actually have several friends who have said that this has been a lifesaver for them. They're actually the ones that told me that's how they've been able to stay on a budget. Because they're horrible when they go inside Walmart. they end up finding all kinds of stuff they want to buy, and they end up buying it because they don't go to the different areas. So they've stopped actually going inside Walmart. They honestly, they go into the click list, they pick all the stuff they're going to do, they order it, then they go pick it up. They do not go into the Walmart at all, unless it's like Christmas shopping time or something like that. I'm like, I personally am not going to have someone else pick up my groceries and bag them. I'm a little OCD with that. So I'm going to go and do it. I've had to basically, make myself learn to stick to the budget and not buy all the extra stuff that I see. And avoid it and just go in with my list, get what's on my list, and leave. But some people, that's hard. So one way to do that is to do this. Okay, so has anybody got any questions? I did a lot of talking, y'all. Does it make sense?
So much.
It makes a lot of sense, and it's really helpful, actually.
Yay! I like that. Thank you. Well, I hope you find the budget checklist helpful. I'm going to be honest. I did my intensive last year in Canada, and I was trying to think of something else I could add to it, to the intensive for the businesses when I do the business and personal, and this checklist is going to be added because I'd never had it. So I hopefully y'all will find it helpful. Again, it gives you examples of stuff not to, like credit card 1, credit card 2, credit card 3. And again, I tell people don't combine them, actually separate those credit card payments out, because some of them are due at different dates than others. So you want to have it, you want to have those due dates. And then I suggest when you list it, so you want to list it all on a separate piece of paper, then put it on the budget sheet. I suggest they be in due date order, because that's going to help you, right? Figure out, okay, I get paid on, let's say the 28th. Then you're going to be able to see, okay, well, this is going to come out the 30th, and this is due from here, and then I get paid again on the 15th. So I need to make sure I can take care of this through this. It helps me. So that's my other tip, and it's not with it. It's to put them in date order. You find it a lot more helpful if it's in date order, than it not, being all mixed up. Okay, so for y'all, I have created a personal budget breakthrough, I don't know, session package, however you want to call it. And Christina, I'm going to tell you, already know how much I appreciate y'all letting me be a guest coach, or inviting me and asking me to be a guest coach, because again, I'm passionate about budgeting, because I've seen the other side, I've seen the downside, and now I'm living the empowering side. And it's not easy every day, but I love it because I've seen that it can be done, and you can have budgeting, and you can get to a place to where you're not living check by check and trying to figure out how you're going to put food on the table or how you're going to pay a bill. Again, I could write drama off of it. I've been there. There have been plenty of times I've had to figure out what I was going to do. So I have created a personal budget breakthrough because I know sometimes budgeting can be very personal, and you might need more help. So for a limited time, what I'm doing just for this group, okay, it's not even anywhere on my website. I'm offering my personal budget breakthrough. It includes 2 Zoom calls with me to help you budget your finances, get them all sorted, make sure it's looking really good, and you've accounted for everything, and help you kind of get it all right. And then a follow-up call 30 days later to check in and make sure it's working perfectly for you. If it's not, we'll tweak it. And this is for $147 for all 3 calls. So I'm offering it to you if you feel that you'd like to get 2019 off to a great financial start and you want to get that financial help. I would love to help you. It's what I do, and honestly, budgeting can be beautiful and sassy and easy and even sexy. It can. You just have to get through those little tips, and I tried to break it down as much as possible. But if you'd like the extra help, I would love to help you. From this, if you have any questions, please PM me, and if you're not comfortable asking them here, I will answer you, and I hope that helped. Do you have any questions? One more time. No? Yes? No?
I had something that came up. I'm just trying to think of what it was. Oh, I was going to ask you, when it comes to grocery stores, are you like loyal to a certain store? Do you recommend like the points? Like, I don't know if you guys have it in the States, but we have like one of our stores that I tend to shop at a lot offers points, and I'm sort of obsessed with the points. And so, not that my boyfriend and I really argue about it, but we definitely disagree because I'm obsessed with the points. So
what do the points offer you?
Free groceries.
Oh, well then, okay, yeah, you need to shop there. I have 2 grocery stores that I shop at.
Okay.
I shop at for my big bulk groceries, I shop at Bi-Lo because I find that normally they're cheaper.
Okay.
But they also, and both grocery stores offer this, I get fuel points.
Okay.
They offer points, but we can either use it towards groceries or we can use it towards fuel.
Okay.
I use it towards fuel because it adds up quicker towards the fuel than it does the groceries.
I don't think our points can be used for fuel, but what I've done is like we saved our points for like months and months, and then I just bought the kids 2 new tablets with our points, like $600 worth of tablets with points. So anyways, I feel like, and it's not like it's the most expensive grocery store in town or anything. It's one of the 2 cheapest.
It's free money.
Yeah. Okay. So I win, he loses, and the points.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Love it.
But I have 2. I have Kroger and I have Bi-Lo.
Mm-hmm.
Bi-Lo is my biggest one. Again, I earn points towards fuel. The biggest thing with Bi-Lo is it depreciates faster, and then it doesn't add up as quickly. Whereas with Kroger, for example, I also shop at Kroger for certain things because when they have sales, they have sales. So, like, for example, my daughter drinks a certain type of soda. My husband drinks a certain type of soda. So what I do is, like this last time they had where it was if you bought 5 6-packs, they were $1.99 a piece. So 6 sodas, which y'all don't drink sodas, but that's not, or most people won't. But my point is that when they have,
we know the budget on it.
but when we do, but my point, or like coffee. I mean, I don't drink coffee, but there's people in my house that do, and the coffee was on sale. I get my water from there. And then I get my turkey sticks and cheese from there. They'll put those things on the Sargento. They'll put those things on sale for like $2.99. They're normally like almost $5 a pop. They'll put them on sale for like $2.99 a pop for if you buy 5. So I'll buy those. Well, what happens is I'll earn. So with that, I end up, this last time I filled up Again, I have an Expedition, so it's a bigger vehicle. You can imagine how much it normally costs. I saved over 40 cents a gallon. And I think I pay like $1.40 something a gallon. No, $1.30 something a gallon, I think it was. And it cost me like $30 something to fill up. So shopping at those places, they're going to give you those points. Groceries are expensive no matter where you go. Okay.
I have another question about point things. Credit cards. Do you do the free credit card that earns you nothing, or do you do the points credit card that you pay an annual fee on?
That depends
On how?
I have
on the interest rate.
Okay. What was that, Karen?
I have a free one with Capital One that earns like minimal points, but you can take and like redeem it for cards or towards your bill.
Now, see, I like that. Now, see, right now, I don't qualify for credit cards that'll give me points, okay? Because, again, I'm rebuilding my credit. But, again, I would say that it depends. It depends on the interest rate. Because, I mean, if you have one you kind of have to look at it. One, are you carrying a balance for a long time? Because, again, you don't want to carry a balance and pay the minimum. Now, some of them let you use those points to actually put the money towards your
like I have a
credit card debt, and I like that idea as well.
Okay.
So it just there's a couple of different variables. Now I'm gonna be honest. As soon as I can find one that'll give me flyer miles, I am all over it because I have been flying more in the last year than I ever have in my life, and I would love to accumulate some flyer miles. So I will be honest, I will actually switch one of mine over to flyer miles once I can.
Okay.
You just need to look at the pros and the cons. Again, the interest rate, the amount of points they offer, and then what the annual fee is, right? I mean, because some are astronomical and then some aren't. So you kind of have to weigh it. You know what I mean? Are the points they offer really good? So, like for you, Corinne, since I think you said there's no annual fee.
No annual fee.
Okay, so since you said there's no annual fee and you earn minimal points, then that's kind of a win-win to start because you don't have to worry about annual fee. Yeah, it's not offering you a lot of points, but you're getting something, right? So that's a good thing. So then, say for example, your credit you're building your credit, and then you're offered one that offers you a buttload of points, but their annual fee is say $49 or $99, whatever. You need to look at, okay, is it worth that $69.99? Because I've seen them $49, $69, $79, and $99. Is it worth it towards the number of points? If it's a minimal number of points and they're charging you $99, no. But again, you kind of have to weigh the two. And I also say look at the interest rate because they got high interest rates on those too.
My dividend card that I have for business, it's a $99 annual fee, but we literally put all of our business expenses through it. So I think last year it was like $700 in cash that I got at the end of the year. That was budget. So I'm like, well, that was obviously worth the $99.
Yeah, that was worth it. Yeah.
But, I mean,
it's like I said, you have to kind of look at the pros and cons. I mean, if it was nice, that's worth it because you're able to put back. I mean, as long as you're able to pay the credit card and you're not just having to make the minimum payments.
There's not a balance on that one, just because it's literally just for business stuff. So we pay it.
Then the $99 annual fee is worth it. I mean, because you're getting so much back in the cash.
Super. All right. Anybody else have any questions for Lisa? I can not ask.
I have a question. Do you have any tips, like when you were saying stuff goes on sale? I find that I stock up more because
that's good.
But so it puts me outside.
Right. It puts you out of your budget. Okay. So what I suggest is kind of hard. What I suggest is if it's anything like our grocery stores in the U.S. anyway, their sales rotate week to week. Okay, so like Kroger, like I don't know, every 6 weeks has those sodas on sale. Okay, and I can pretty much, if you monitor it, you can pretty much time it.
Yep.
So what you want to do, put an extra $15, $20 up into one of those 360 accounts. And then when that stuff goes on sale, you've got an extra $100, $120, whatever, pull it and stock up on those things. Because then for the next 6 weeks, you're not going to need them and you're not going to be paying $6.99 for what you were able to get while it was on sale.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I've gotten to the point to where now I have enough cushion built up, and it's taken me a little while to get there, but I have enough cushion built up to where I do one big grocery shopping, and then if I see they're having that sale, I literally, y'all, Kroger, I only buy certain things, and it's only the certain things when it goes on sale. Okay, I am able to walk in there. And I know exactly what I'm going to get, walk out, and I've pretty much got it averaged on how much I'm going to spend. But again, you have to be mindful and pay attention to the amount, right? And just go in and buy those things when they have those huge sales. And all our grocery stores have them.
Yeah.
Some are better than others. Bi-Lo has pretty good buy one, get one free sales, but Kroger's is the buy 5. If you buy 5 of any of this, you mix and match, you get it for this price. And so if it's something you use a lot of, if it's $1.99, it's normally $4.99, I say stock up.
I dream of grocery shopping in the United States. Right, Marla?
It's not always cheap, I promise.
I always tell people about my 25-cent eggs that I found when I was in Dallas, that I'm like, 25 cents
Wait a
for
minute,
just
what? 25-cent eggs. I
was
have
in
not
Aldi.
seen 25 cents for eggs in a very long time.
All right, I think Megan has a question. Go ahead, Megan.
So I noticed that because I live in New Jersey right now, and we all know New Jersey is crazy expensive.
Yep.
So I'm actually moving back to PA in like June with my own house and everything. Well, when I move back, PA is a lot cheaper, I know. And like I've noticed if there's the two major grocery stores. One's the Walmart, like it's the big super Walmart, and then there is something called Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle offers
Giant Eagle. Okay.
but like I've noticed the prices are like $3 to $4 more than just going to Walmart.
If it's cheaper for you to go to Walmart, go to Walmart.
But does it add up to like, because my in-laws spend around like $500 to $600, I only spend like $300 a month on groceries. And I've noticed like they can fuel both of their cars, and then they have gas for the rest of the month. They like fill cans. So would that be worth it?
They fill cans.
Yeah, they buy like the 10-gallon cans, and then they take them and they use all the fuel perks.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But what I used to do when I bought everything at Walmart is if you have a Walmart gas station, or the Murphy USA gas station, I think it's called. Walmart, if you buy a gift card and you use a gift card for the gas, you save like 5 cents a gallon. So what I used to do to budget from my gas before I was able to get my credit card again and I bought everything at Walmart is I would go in there once a month. I knew how much I needed. I think it was $100 a month for gas. I bought one gift card and I refilled it every month with $100, and I only got my gas filled at that gas station, so I would save the 5 cents. It did 2 things. One, I saved cheaper gas. 2, it kept me on my budget for my gas because then it wasn't coming out of my regular bank account with all the other expenses. If your parents are spending that much money on groceries, my question to you is what they're buying, if it's just them two. And sometimes they're buying a whole bunch of extra stuff.
They have one other son, and like they buy all like the name brand stuff and like.
Okay, so basically, it won't be that bad for you. Now, I am going to say Walmart's meat to me is a lot more expensive than grocery stores. So I would compare Giant Eagle to Walmart and see what their difference is between like their chicken and their turkey and stuff like that. Because I find Walmart's a lot more expensive when it comes to their ground turkey and their pork chops and stuff like that. it might be different in Pennsylvania.
We Costco shop once a month for our meat. Like that's how we tend to do meat.
And you could also
membership. Find a friend with a Costco membership. And
or
I don't have a Costco near me.
But will you have when you go to Pennsylvania? Will you have a Sam's Club?
45 minutes away.
So maybe
that'd be worth it. It'd be worth it for you to go once a month.
I was gonna say I'm 45
or
minutes.
find a meat market.
That sounds like fun.
We have a meat market in New Jersey, like New Jersey where I live.
No, New Jersey's expensive.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
You'll notice that we have no chain stores. We don't do chain stores. New Jersey is a very local, business-oriented state. And so if I wanted to go to Sam's Club now, I have to go 40 minutes away. If I want to go to BJ's, it's an hour away. Like, everything's, like, really far away, and it's hard because, like, 2 kids, and my husband is going back to work February 6th. And it's just hard to find the time to go up there because my husband's like, no, let's just go to Walmart. It's easier.
Well, I mean, what you can do is if you are shopping at Walmart and you find you're not on staying on task, try the online. Because literally, even if you're buying a specific brand, you can find it, order it. They go in, because I've seen them, they push this big cart. They have all this stuff. They pick it up, and you can just pick it up and bring it. And then once you get back to Pennsylvania, I would double check just to see if there is a meat market and compare it. We have one meat market that's outrageous here, but then we have another one that's like a 15-minute extra drive, and they're not as bad. So, I mean, there's options. I don't always go to meat market. It just depends. Now, if I go to Kroger and I go to Walmart or Philo and their meat's blowing up outrageous and I know I can get double the amount at meat market for the same price, I don't buy meat there and I go to meat market and I get it.
And how do you talk to someone who is really aggressive about their finances? Because my husband and I, it's the number one thing we fight about because I splurge.
Welcome to my world. That's the biggest thing we fight. We fight one of the biggest things we fight about. You have to be smart about it. You have to. One of the reasons why I want you to look at how much you spend on your groceries and all is because I want you to be realistic and I want you to be mindful and I want you to see it in black and white what you're spending. Because once you see it in black and white and you're mindful about it, there's no hiding it. You know what I mean? You have to make a decision. You have to say, okay, I'm going to keep doing this, or okay, how can I tweak it to where I can not go out of my budget so that I'm actually going to be able to get from this point to have a cushion put up and to where I can do this. And guys, I'm going to tell you something else. I haven't been able to, this last year was the first time I was able to do it, and which made it the first Christmas I didn't have to ask for help to get my girls something for Christmas. I had one of my savings accounts in the 360 account, Kareem, is a Christmas. And last year was the first time, and I didn't get to start until July, was the first time that I was able to use it, have enough money in there to where I didn't have to ask a soul for help. The year before I had to ask for help. And so 4 years before. So that's huge. But how I got there was taking these exact same steps I'm telling you to take. I had to look at it in black and white. Dining out was huge. We were spending way too much money eating out. And since I was putting my fitness and my health first last year, it was really easy for me to cut it out. And that's what I did. That was the first thing I cut out, was all the eating out I was doing, because I had made the commitment to work out with Lindsay. And if anybody knows, Lindsay she does no BS. She'll tell you how it is, right? So you're agreeing with me, you know. And so you just have to make a commitment to yourself that you want your financial health to be better. It's the same thing now that y'all done for your health. You made the decision to have the surgery to get better, to take better care of yourself and to be a better fit, right? Y'all all made decisions and have all taken these steps. It's the exact same thing. You're just doing it with your finances. So once you make that decision, you'll be and you take those steps, you'll be able to do it.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna wrap us up. If you guys have any more questions, Lisa said she'd open her inbox to you.
Oh yeah.
So
all you can do is message me.
Feel free to send her a message. Thank you so much, Lisa. This was so
welcome.
super cool.
Thank you.
I've definitely.
You're most welcome. And if you have any other questions, please, please, please PM me.
All right. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Thank you again, Lisa. And
Bye.
I will put the recording of this up, so if you missed anything and you want to go back and watch it again, you can go ahead and do that too.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.